Hi, this is Randy Kay with The Randy Kay Show, bringing you inspirations and insights for drawing closer to Jesus. Episode 4, The Light of Jesus. Besides my own experience of meeting Jesus in heaven, I have interviewed many others who have clinically died and experienced Jesus in heaven. Perhaps the most common reference by these people was that of seeing or being pulled by a light. In the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 4, it says that, quote, "In him was life, and that life was the light of mankind," end of quote. The light of Jesus is the presence of Jesus, and so it makes perfect sense that the light so many have experienced in heaven is the presence of Jesus. For me, I was being pulled by the light after seeing my body on the hospital bed. And when I rested in the full presence of Jesus, the light was emanating from Jesus, and it shone through heaven, giving life to everything and spreading God's glory throughout heaven. God's glory is His presence. And in the time of Moses, as the Jews were seeking the Promised Land after escaping Egypt, the glory of God appeared like a fire at night and a cloud by day. Moses ascended a mountain to be in the presence of God. It says in the book of Exodus chapter 34, verses 29 through 35, that when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the covenant law in his hands, he was not aware that his face was radiant because he had spoken to the Lord. The light of God's glory was so strong that it illuminated the face of Moses, such that he had to wear a veil over his face to prevent it from blinding the Israelites when he spoke to them. The glory of God that I witnessed with my spiritual eyes in heaven could only be seen because my spirit body was before God and not my physical body. The sheer brilliance of God's full glory would likely blind anyone who perceived it with their physical eyes. Such is the magnitude and magnificence of God's glory, His presence. Now, here's the great news. If you're a believer in Jesus, you have the glory of God inside you, because the presence of God resides with your born-again spirit in a place within you that is isolated from the effects of this world. And when you leave this world to live eternally with God, the light of Jesus will pull you toward Him, and you will behold the full glory of God in heaven. That's your future. But there's still something we must do in this world before that happens. We must fully believe with our mind and hearts in the promises, truths, and reality of God. The Israelites who were led by Moses suffered from unbelief, as explained in the Bible. In fact, their unbelief caused them to wander in the wilderness for 40 years, when the entire trip to the Promised Land should have taken them just 11 days. An entire generation of Jews passed before a leader named Joshua, and his believing followers had the courage of their conviction in God to fulfill God's promise for them. Unbelief is the biggest roadblock between where God wants to take you and where you are going in your life. I believe that God is looking for a Joshua type of belief in order to pour forth His glory in this world and creating a revival the likes this world has never seen before. When the light of Jesus pours forth from heaven into this world, the glory of God will impart His undeniable presence to everyone seeking to know the truth. That's great news. The God of love is the light of the world, showing us the way toward Him and shining His glory to those who confess Jesus as their Lord. Won't you confess your faith in Jesus today and let the light of Jesus shine in your heart, illuminating your way and bringing you to the place God has called you to be? Jesus is your light. Let that light shine through you today and every day. So if you enjoyed this short version of the Randy Kay Show, I wanted to let you know that we are going to be starting a longer podcast and we're going to be talking with a number of guests within the Christian community. So stay tuned, and we'll announce to you when those are forthcoming. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us. God bless you, and have a wonderful day.